Hello, this is Joe Abinante at the Valley Library Consortium. In this section, we'll show you how to format and print a report. If you take a look at the report before you, you will see that all the columns are the same width. And when you see a column with data of all pound signs, that means that the data is too large for that column width, such as under last checkout date and creation date, those two columns. When you have all the same width, you can easily format those columns to fit the data for those columns. But before you do that, if you have any wrapped text in those columns, you need to unwrap that text. For example, column C, collection, that has wrapped text. So does column I, item status, J, L, M, and N. So first, before you reformat the column widths, we're going to unwrap the text in this row. You highlight that row and go up to Wrap Text, which appears under the Home tab. Click on that, then your text has been unwrapped. If you click back on it, you'll see it's wrapped again. So let's leave it unwrapped. And what I like to do when you unwrap text, sometimes it makes your row pretty narrow. So I like to just go over to the row number, and at the very bottom line, hold that down, drag it down, and make it wider. So now we have unwrapped the text in row 1. To format the data for these columns, you simply highlight the entire worksheet by dragging over and down, or you can simply press Control A, and that highlights the entire report. Once you've done that, again under the Home tab, over to the right there's a Format function. Click on that and go down to Auto Fit Column Width. Click on that. And now you can see the data now fits the column width. And if we go over to those dates, now we have real dates appearing in place of the pound signs. So that's adjusting the column width. If you see data in cells which end with an E plus 13, that means the number has not been formatted as a number. So to format the data from text to a number, highlight the column by clicking on A and going back up to that Format function and go down to Format Cells, and you want to be under the Number tab, which we are here. Highlight Number. Decimal places, the default is 2. If you don't want any decimal places, just arrow down to 0. And once that's done, click on OK. And now that text data has been changed to a number. Now, if any of the columns look a little wide for the information that's in them, you can readjust those column widths manually by simply going up to the column itself and dragging over that line. For example, author, let's make that smaller. And title, if you scroll down and look at the titles, you can probably move that column over just a little as well. Number of checkouts usage, let's move that column over. Now when you do that, you're going to lose some of that description, and the way to resolve that is simply for that cell, you want to wrap the text. So go back up, click on Wrap Text, and now your entire description will appear. Let's go over to in-house uses and shorten up that column, and again we'll do a wrap text here as well. You might want to do this so that more columns will appear on the first page of your report. If you have a lot of columns, another way to increase the number of columns that will appear on the first page is to change the layout. And to do that, you simply go up to the tab Page Layout, click on that, and then go down to Orientation. Now the default will always be Portrait. So to increase the number of columns that will print on the first page, click on Landscape. From the Page Layout tab, you can also change your margins if you so desire. Excel can also print column labels or headers at the top of each printed page. And to do that, again, you're under Page Layout. Click on Print Titles. In this case, we want to repeat the information or labels in row 1 on every page. So to do that, under Rows to Repeat at top, click on the Collapse Dialog button Now it's prompting you for which rows. You can simply highlight that you want to repeat at the top. So you just go into row 1, highlight that entire row, which it does automatically. And now row 1 appears here. X out of here, and again row 1 repeats here, and click OK. So now that you've made these formatting adjustments to your report, you can review your changes in the print preview window. So go up to File, click on Print, and this is now the print preview window. And we have 48 pages. Well, that's quite a few pages, and there isn't a whole lot of information showing on this first page. So let's go back up to Home. And let's adjust some more of these columns. Let's make that title a little bit narrow. And then let's go to number of checkouts usage. Make that more narrow, past checkouts. And if we have to wrap the text here, let's do that. Let's go to creation date and make that more narrow and wrap that text as well. Okay, let's take another look at that, going up to File and Print again to look at the print preview. And this time we have the title showing on the first page. And if you advance to the next page, you'll see that that row 1 information is repeating along every page. And we've also reduced the number of pages from 40 to 32. And once you're satisfied with the changes and you like the way it looks in the print preview window, you can go up and click on the print button to print your report. And that concludes this section on formatting and printing a report.